Hi. A question. I would like to know how your husband, as a designer, influenced your
Right.
work and inspirations, or
Oh,
maybe
I was
not.
going to let him answer the question. Hugely, yeah, huge. We're a team, and fortunately, in life, but also in work. So the nice thing is now, purposefully, we put proposals in now that interest both of us because we like to work together, and that wasn't true probably before the biosuit. 10 years we were each doing a lot of work and projects, and we appreciated, I think, the other projects. But now we try to put in a few proposals every year that are interesting for both of us. So teaching-wise as well, as I'm passionate about teaching, I always love my students, but architecture, I never got to take an architecture class, but the studio model of how to teach. So I teach freshmen in engineering. Usually I teach design, so engineering design, and we have interesting conversations about what's design and what elements of design so do engineers need, and architects or designers. So we like to, it makes life more fun. You don't sleep as much. We do work a lot, so if we work on projects that we're both interested in, we get to see each other more. But thanks for the question. Yeah, very inspirational.
Dava, sorry, I am back. My last question. I would like to know, taking advantage that you are part of what is going on today in terms of the research in aeronautics, you say? Yeah, aeronautics. What do you think? What is next? What is coming from the human being in next 30 years? Next steps, highlights that you think that we will achieve in the next 30 years, maybe?
Only thing I'm smart enough to know is you can't predict the future. So I'll give you some thoughts, and I'm sure right? No one's very good. At least I'm not. Maybe Arthur C. Clarke was good. Jules Verne, I think he was pretty good at predicting. He's one of my favorites. What's happening in the future for in the field of aeronautics? I think seriously, and give credit to students, because anything I do is really based on great student work, so I'm very proud of any student that I've ever interacted with. Personalized transportation. So this is the aero side of things. I'm more to the aerospace side, but the aeronautics side, personal. So it's been on the drawing board since the 1950s, but the technology is here. Hop in a car that turns into a plane and fly yourself to work. That technology is here. It's interesting. And a little lunar jetpack that's should be here. So I would love to, commute to work in my own little rocket that just landed me right at my office. And I mentioned, energy again. More, well, not those aren't serious. Those are interesting projects, but they're technologically driven. For a good example, it's not my expertise, but maybe how space can contribute in 10, 20 years. In terms of pharmaceuticals, we can make almost perfect drugs in space, perfect crystalline structures, because now everything's floating. So let's say we need more of a really precious material and a certain formulation of it. That's probably something. And see, space, low Earth orbit, it's just 400 kilometers away. It's like from here to not even, Puerto Montt. I mean, it's close. It's just, So low Earth orbit's so thinking about low Earth orbit as a laboratory easily within, let's say, a decade, if we chose to that investment, maybe we could do some really important things for Earth and for people on Earth is usually how I think about it. Further out than that? I'm not sure. 10 years. I'd like to go through the thought exercise of think, what can we accomplish in the next 10 years? And that's hard. It's a hard question. If you say, what can we accomplish in 30 years or 40 years? I find that really interesting, but almost impossible to answer.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Cristobal. I'm an engineer. And in Chile, failure is highly penalized. How your environment couples with failure, or how do you think we can change the perception of failure?
Yeah. So that's a great question. Not just in Chile, but I think I think we've become very risk averse And so exploration is a great example because we just cannot accomplish things if we're risk averse. Breakthrough things. I mean, you have to fail, fail, and fail, and fail 9 out of 10 times, and then that time you succeed is probably going to be really important. So I like to encourage failure. And it's, I mean, we laugh at, I actually would like your input. I don't know how to encourage my students too much to fail. I know that hands-on, they're building and designing. We'll fail every day in the lab because we don't get it just right. But seriously, I mean, I actually am thinking about and need help to see how do we encourage failure, especially in students, in academia, because we don't have much to lose. I mean, grades really aren't that important. It's not the next step out there in industry and the work when, failure, is not an option, right? A bridge goes down or an airplane comes down, that's not the place to fail. But I think in the university environment, a toy bridge, it's a good place to fail. And so I just know as part of the recipe to innovation is actually taking probably calculated risks, Yeah, yes to all. At home.